Hello everyone and welcome to day 160, finally, of Project 365. Today I'm going to be doing a movie review, and it's hopefully going to be it's a review to a sequel to hopefully a movie you've all seen. The movie that I'm going to be reviewing today is Rec 2. Now, for those of you who don't know Rec, it's the Spanish foreign film that was the cause, I guess it would be the cause to the creation of Quarantine, the movie. Basically, Quarantine was an American remake of Rec, and Rec 2 was recently released in Spain, and I bought it on Dish Network. So for those of you who have Dish Network, go check it out. It's actually a very good film. The characters are, well, their usual selves. For those of you who don't know, in Rec 1, there's this, virus thing, and then it gets infected throughout the building, and then people are trying to escape, and then at the end, the camera crew that went in with the firemen at the beginning ends up being the only ones alive, and then they end up being killed, except you find out in Rec 2 they aren't. But one cool thing that Rec 2 does is it actually explains what exactly the virus was. Now, I don't want to tell you guys because that would ruin it, but let's just say a lot of questions are answered in Rec 2 that were brought up in Rec 1. So it was nice that the directors decided to do that. The setting was great, character development was a bit flawed. I wish that the Dr. Owens had actually learned something versus trying to continuously fight for getting the blood. So there weren't really any character arches per se. There was just sort of flatlined, which is kind of frustrating because, you kind of hope that the characters in the story actually develop to the point where they learn from their mistakes. So that was a little bad. The cinematography was pretty cool. Of course, always from that first-person perspective, and they actually played around with that a little bit. The SWAT team had cameras on their helmets, so even when the people were alone, you weren't watching a camera watch them. You were actually, in the camera from their perspective. So that was pretty cool. So they did a lot with playing around with cameras, effects, and cinematography and stuff like that, so that was welcome. Overall, I would give it a 7. I mean, it could improve, but it honestly isn't that bad. I mean, it's sort of average, but if you're a fan of the first movie, you'll be a fan of the second movie. And while I'm at it, I watched another movie, The Descent 2, Part 2. Descent was released back in 2007, probably around the same time as Quarantine. Interesting. Actually, no, Quarantine was later, but anyway. The Descent Part 2 follows another rescue team. It seems like this is a recurring theme in these, infection-type rescue. People get left behind in the cliffhanger in the first one, and so they send in a rescue team to get the second one. I'm assuming it's a proven theory that works, but Descent 2 was okay. It wasn't amazing. No character development at all. They throw some pretty gruesome stuff at you, so that was kind of cool. If you're into the whole disgusting factor, if you're into the whole gross out factor, that was pretty cool. I mean, in the movie there's a scene where a guy gets his arm chopped off by a axe, or a pickaxe thing, and that kind of made me grab my wrist a little bit. Overall, cinematography, it is just as good as the first one, so take that as you will. I'm not sure if a lot of people like the cinematography in the first one. It made me feel claustrophobic, but that was a good thing because it worked for the film, because you have these people walking through, or crawling through these, itty-bitty tunnels. Realistically, I don't know anyone who would willingly put themselves through this, so it felt kind of forced, but then again, it's sort of what had to happen anyway. So overall, that movie was pretty good too. I mean, like I said, it was average. It wasn't, oh my god, you have to see this movie. But it was good enough to at least want to watch once. So, question for today is, have you either seen Wreck or its American counterpart Quarantine, or have you seen The Descent? And what did you think of those movies? And if you've seen The Descent Part 2 or Wreck 2, let me know what you think of those two. I'm curious to see if I'm the only one who had these opinions. Alright, so that's it for today, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.